What's good, YouTube? We're gonna do a tutorial today on the mid-drop fade. We'll get it going today. Right here is the Model 10 detachable clipper, and I use this to set in my guidelines with the 5/0 blade. Clean out all the bottom, making sure your guidelines are straight all the way around. Then I go back my fabulous trimmer to get it down as skin tight as I can. Same thing, same clipper. We're just gonna do it with a 1 guard open. And never go past your ridge that you see. You can see your old 2 line right here. Never go past that. You see that line getting lighter and lighter, blending out little by little. Don't be afraid to go up in there too with the open lever. If you get up here, you're not gonna cut too much if you know what you're doing. Keep it sideways. As much as you keep it sideways, you're not gonna cut too much. The more you turn in, that's how much more you're gonna cut. Do the same thing on this side. Start working on the dark spot. Using my corner only. Now we're blending in that smooth transition. You can barely even tell that it went into the 2 from the 0. So since we already transitioned the 0 to the 2, now we're gonna do the 2 to the top of the hair, so that way you can try to blend it in and make it look nicer. Before that, we're gonna use the shaver on them, the fabulous shaver. Alright, so what I like to do when I use the shaver is I go down first, and then I go back up, because it loosens up the hair, so that when you're going back in, you don't have to kind of just dig into your scalp. And it leaves a smoother transition into that blend, so that way you don't have to have a hard line. If you look close, you can see that very small stubbled hair where it's smooth and it got hair, but it's got a little small transition that we got to work on. And that's that line I was talking about. Usually if you don't go down first, it'll leave a harsher line. This one's easy enough to just pop out real quick. Go back up. And every time you make these guidelines, make sure you want to do a 1/2 inch to 1 inch depending on the size of the head. Then if you want to go back in there and finesse it again, we're going to do it with the Fade Master. So the purpose of this clipper is when you want to work on the bottom, this is still like little lines that I can see. You don't want to start closed because it's going to start scalping people. So start halfway, this is going to be your half line and you're all the way open. So this is going to be your 0. So you want to start right here in the very bottom. Alright, since we already transitioned the 0 skin all the way up to the 2, now it's trying to hit the 2 to the top of the head. I'm going with the same 2 guard and the same clipper, but I'm just going to start with the open lever just to get the top ridge. So I'm doing that C motion. As soon as I come up, I'm pulling out. C motion, pulling out. C motion, pulling out. Now I'm going to close the lever just so I can start working in the little dark spots that we didn't get. Using my corners the same thing as before, so I don't cut too much hair. I'm only targeting what I need. Now we can see that transition a little better from the 0 coming up, a little bit more smoother. The next clip I'm gonna use is just a wall 5-star senior with a 1 guard closed or open, however you feel, just to take out these little lines right here. What I'm going to do to blend that 2 into the top of the hair is I like to use my shears. That way you can start getting this whole ridge around the edge. up. Not everybody has the same edge up. This one's a little closer to his eyebrow and this one's a little further back. So of course you want to match up which one's the furthest one back. So this one we're gonna have to bring back a little bit and match up with this one. So I like to use my barberless trimmers. Whenever I start my edge ups, I start from the middle, so that way I just work my way out. Advice on edge ups is, of course, first look at see how placement is. And then usually if you see one side higher than the other, usually it's like an illusion with cutting hair, so you want to make it look even. So if you see one side different, try to best you can to lift up the corners first, and then instead of having to go straight up higher and all that stuff like that. So I try to like look at my corners first and make sure they're kind of even. Make sure I'm looking at the bottom of the corner and make sure it's kind of even, so that way I know how thick the side of the edge of it is and everything like that. So then I make sure I keep brushing down the hair, so that way I can keep catching little hairs that that you don't catch and everything like that. Alright, so now it's time for the shave. We get this razor blade, make it look crispy. Remember to be light with your hand on the razor too. Let the razor do all the work. Stretch the skin away from you. Lightly pull up on the razor. There you have it, YouTube. A natural mid-drop fade with no enhancements, just straight barbering.